We're live.
We are live. We are live. Hey, folks. We took last Sunday off, but we here. Here we are again. Thank you for joining us another Sunday on the Black Therapy Show. We have a very special returning guest, Brian Simpson. This. I had so much fun and learned so much from Brian. I decided to invite him back. I also invited the other guy that was on here with you, but it was kind of late. I think I invited you guys. Friday or something like that. I was kind of hoping you can make it, but I knew everyone would not be able to make it because Tiffany, Kevin, and myself, we only come up with topics like on Thursday or Friday and decide what we're going to talk about. So I really don't know way ahead of time what the topics are until later in the week, but we are working on that. So today we're going to cover several topics. We're going to cover the 3,000 plus Black women that have been laid off, and that's by design. That's not an accident. Also, the question I wanted to ask on this show is Trump is pushing this country towards segregation. Of course, that's not going to be said, but if you watch the actions of him and his administration. But my question is, are Black people better prepared to handle segregation this time around in 2025? Are we ready? Can we say, okay, go ahead, segregate all you want? You know, we're more educated, we're more financially stable. You know what I mean? It's not like we can't do certain things like we couldn't do back in the Jim Crow days. So, you know, are we ready? And Trump, and I have video to prove it, said that Black people are born criminals. It could
And
be
they are born slave masters. But yeah.
that 2 years from now, 20, he said, it is what it is. We are just born criminals. There's nothing that can be done to change.
I need to see that video.
They will slit your throat and don't even think about it. That's just who they are.
That's what he said. All of that.
Yes, he did say
I need to see that video. Please put that video up. So I need to see the video, please.
That
Yeah, 100% said that. He did say all that. Yes,
he said all that. They will slit, and just the way they are. That's just who they are. So we're really going to get into it. But before we do that, we'll go around and see how everyone's doing. Brian, how are you, my brother? You're in San Francisco, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you wrote a book because I think we did.
Yeah. I've actually written two. I'm the author of Town Secrets, an Alex Archer adventure, and The Nightmare's Edge, an Alex Archer adventure. They're two in a 3-part series. I'll be completing the third in the series here, hopefully by the end of the year. They're works of fiction, but the books bring attention to the issue of human trafficking in the Black community, particularly, and other communities of color.
Wow, we definitely have to do a show on that because I never even knew that was a thing.
Yeah. It's I remember always wanting to write novels and just kind of decided that I would in 2017. I kind of started to brainstorm the characters, and when I conceptualized the character Alex Archer, he needed a conflict to address. And I remember hearing back then at the time that there were 64,000 missing Black women in America and no one was talking about it. So right then I knew that's going to be his issue. That's going to be the conflict that he addresses. But as I began to research that book and just look at the topic of human trafficking as a whole, I found that it was a very insidious crime that could be happening right next door to you and you not know. And it just has all of these different tentacles. So the series that I'm writing, I call it the Dark Journey series. You can find it at my website, theauthorbriansimpson.com, or at major retailers. Just that when I began to look into it, the series, is going to be about these various tentacles of human trafficking that are out there. So,
okay. Tiffany wasn't here last Sunday because mom, and I was asking her how's her mom doing, and your mom doing fine, right, Tiff?
Well, so far, mom is doing good. We have her in rehabilitation. We had a situation where she had a procedure done and it had complications. So we just got getting her back, moving her legs and moving in her walker. So I want to send love to my mommy. I
Yes.
love you very much, and everybody that has been there and supporting and sending us love. We really appreciate it. I tell people, please, take care of your health. Make sure you know what's going on when you're going into these hospitals. Make sure you take care of your parents. I mean, it's just so much dealing. We will hopefully we can talk about it on the show call, dealing with the health care and taking care of our health better, because we don't want to end up in these situations where we have to go into a nursing home or rehabilitation or something like that. We want to be able to be healthy, and if it is needed, I understand. But if we can stay healthy and take care of our parents, please do it. Because you don't want to have no regrets later on, definitely. But other than that, God is good, and I'm just glad that we are here and talking. And welcome to the guests, Kevin. Miss you. I miss you and Carl.
Kevin,
What's up, family? Long time no see. It seems like it's been a long time. It has been, right?
Yeah, like 2 weeks or something.
2 weeks for us, man. That's a long time. Yeah. Anyway, glad to be back. Glad to be back. Life was good. I'm here, ready to rock. What's up,
Yeah.
Carl? You good, Carl?
man, I'm good. I've been watching your videos, so I know you're good.
Yeah, Tiff, and we're keeping your mom in the prayers, and thanks for the updates and everything.
Yes.
And everything's looking good.
Yeah, she's pushing. She's a little fighter. That's what I like. So, once they still got that fighting spirit, that's a good thing.
That's a great thing. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, like I said, today we're going to talk about the fact that the Trump administration is pushing all kind of policies that is leaning or has a tinge of segregation, and a lot of Black people are saying, "Bring it." We don't. And I'm asking the question: are we ready? Can we handle segregation in 2025? Are we more prepared? I hope so. I think there's I mean, we should be able to. We shouldn't be complaining, I don't think. And I think there always have been segregation. It's just been regulated, So when they say that Trump is pushing segregation, to me, it's always been there. But I could be wrong. That's why we have.
Well, if they push segregation, and remember, we are the main money people. We are everything. We spend more money than everybody. Do you understand? So they want to separate. We can keep our money and we can make our own thing. But you got to make sure you ain't going to try to come for us once we are so very successful and start being the number 1 and 2 on the list. So I don't think they want that either, because they need our money. They live off our money. They thrive off of us as Black people. So I don't think they want that. They just want us back in our place. That's what they want. They like, you got too much freedom. You too damn smart. Oh no, you can't do that. You can't be smarter than a white man or a white woman. You better go sit your behind down and do what we say do. That's what they want. They want us. They want to be back in control again. They feel like they lost control, especially when Obama came in. They really thought they lost control. They was like, oh my God, we don't let the mix in here. Jesus, and he got a black wife, a real black wife. You understand what I'm saying? It was just too much for them.
Okay,
so that's why.
Speaking of Obama, I'm glad you brought up Obama. I'm going to ask this question, then I'm going to show some videos, and then we're going to, get with our theme song and get the show started. But do you think if Obama was as dark as Wesley Snipes, he would be president?
No, he would not be president.
Absolutely not.
Only reason why he was president is because his mother was white and she was from Hawaii. I think Hawaii or somewhere in some country town, and his father was from Kenya. His father wasn't even American born. You understand? So they didn't have no threat. Remember, Mr. Bryan was just talking. They didn't feel threatened about him. They didn't feel no way. You understand? They was more nervous about what's her name? Michelle.
That is true.
Yeah, Michelle had him shook. Yeah, Michelle had them.
She had to have more security than he had.
Right.
Because they threatened her so daggone much.
Yes,
So
Obama had Wesley Snipes scholar, he could be president?
No.
I say yes.
You say yes?
Because Obama even though he was a light skinned or brown skinned man, if he's a dark skinned man, it wasn't. People still looked at him as a black man. At the end of the day, he's a black man. That's why we got Trump right now. There's a rebuttal to Obama, right? So at the end of the day, he's the first black president. So black is black. Whether
Oh,
it's
stop it. Stop
Wesley
it.
Snipes, Wesley Snipes black, or Elder Barge black. Black is black,
Yeah, black
right?
I
is
agree
black,
with
but you know
that.
they was not
I
gonna
agree with
But
that.
what got Obama over was his charisma and his gift of gab. So if he had Wesley Snipes' complexion and still delivered that gift of gab and that charisma that he had, his gift was his charisma and his ability to not make people nervous, not to make certain white people nervous. So it wasn't his. I think racist white people don't like black people no matter what. I'm light skinned. I deal with racism. So I don't think I don't think the KKK going, hey, this dude's light skinned. Let's not hang him. It's still gonna hang my ass, right?
I feel you on
Racism
that.
is racism.
I feel you
Racism
on that.
is racism.
Let me ask you like this though. If you had, let's say, Obama, but you had a brother like Wesley Snipes' complexion, same charisma, same intelligence, everything, same resume, yada, 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 and the nation had to choose between Wesley and Obama, who would they choose?
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Thank you,
But
Mr. Brian. They don't listen to me.
that's like saying Wesley Snipes can't get an acting role over a light skinned actor that has the same skills that he has.
No,
Well,
He
that's
probably
happened.
beat out a lot of light skinned
no,
actors.
it's not.
That's happened.
Yeah,
that's happened. You have with that particular example, listen to Viola Davis and the things that she has mentioned, the struggles that she's had over being a dark-skinned woman, black woman versus being Halle Berry. So that does happen. And I'm not refuting you. I'm with you, bro.
No, I understand what you're saying, man.
Black is black, but colorism in politics, I think colorism, it permeates everything in America. Racism first,
right.
But colorism absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm trying to say though, real quickly, is we're talking about color or we're talking about looks, because it's all about America is into looks more than they're into, like, for example, let's say Sidney Poitier, for example, who's a dark skinned brother, right? I mean, he's not as dark as Wesley Snipes, but he's still a dark skinned brother. So he's darker than Obama too. So so a Sidney Poitier looking brother could have been president if he had the charisma of because it's about the look. The Bill Cosby, for example, or Jesse Jackson with the afro couldn't be president. You know what I'm saying? When Jesse had an afro, and it looked like Dr. J. Right, so that wasn't going to work for white America.
Looks and colorism.
That wasn't going to work for white America. But if Jesse Jackson was Sidney Poitier looking dude and had that charisma of a Barack Obama, but looked like Sidney Poitier, he could have got over, in my humble opinion.
All right. Well, I have to say, Kev, I don't think if Obama, I would be a president as dark as Wesley Snipes or Cicely Tyson or one of those really dark, but I don't think Obama would have been elected if he had I don't care how much charisma he had. That's just from my experience. You know what I mean? Even though, yes, they don't care light skin black, dark skin black, black is black to a lot of the racist white people, but they're still a lot more comfortable with a lighter skin person.
He just
you might not know it. You have some privilege being a light skin brother. You don't have light skin privilege?
I don't see it.
If you
You
walk,
know what? Kev is not going to see
I'm
it.
gonna tell you
He's
why
not
I
going
don't
to
see
see
it.
it. Go listen to him. Go
No,
listen
you
to
gotta
him.
listen to me. It's part of my show. I've been racially profiled more times than I can raise my finger at right now. I've been called the N-word. I've been I've had women grab their purse when I walk towards them or get on the elevator, and I'm wearing a three-piece suit. You know,
That's
I've dealt
general.
with the same racism that Wesley Snipes, if he wasn't famous, deals with.
but
That's
I'm
all I'm saying.
No, I don't think so.
go ahead, Tiffany. Sorry.
No, I don't. Come on, look where you perform in certain places where they only want one black guy, and you're the one black guy, and you do a good job. They don't want no other black guy there, do they?
No, I perform on shows a lot of times. I just had this discussion with another black comedian, a friend of mine who's probably watching the show right now. We just had this discussion. I just performed in North Carolina, and I took and the house MC at the venue was a black guy with dreads, and I'm the headliner, you know, and I'm black. And then we had a white boy in the middle of the show that was the middle performer, but I almost brought my other friend with me who was black. So it would have been an all black show at this venue. And I was telling my comedian buddies, we were discussing this, that even though this comedy club is in the South, this agency wouldn't have cared that the show was all black. And we were talking about all black shows being in these mainstream comedy clubs in America. And I was like, yeah, well, I was in the South working, and the agency that I work for don't care about all black shows because I could have easily had an all black show. And I've had all black shows in these comedy clubs in the South. Even in Florida, I've been on stage with all three acts being black at a comedy club, Carl. And you know what I'm talking about as far as the format goes. Because yeah. So, I mean, it's changed. I remember back in the day, they wouldn't put all three black comics on the same comedians on the same show, maybe back in the 80s and stuff like that. Most agencies wouldn't do that. But now, they're starting to shy away from that now, from my experience, Tiff. I'm just being,
If I can interject something with that, and and first off, I will say with you, Kevin, I agree 100%. I've got, this is all of us. We got family and friends that are light skinned, dark skinned, whatever, and we all experience racism when it boils down to it. I can't sit and say that my racism that I've experienced is more than yours. In regards to colorism, I think colorism is more of a thing that we as black people put on each other more than anybody else, but it does come into play when you're talking about the nation and politics. Now, with that said, when you're talking about entertainment versus politics, they aren't going to care about an all black show. They're not going to care about that because they feel you have a lot of racists in America that feel we are here for their entertainment, for their pleasure. We are here to serve and all that stuff. So they're not going to worry about having an all black, roster for something like that, like they would worry about having an all black board for a company or an all black, all black, representatives in Congress or all black representatives in the Senate. They're going to look past one, but the other, they are not going to look past. That kind of speaks to what you're saying about the reason we have Trump now is because we had Obama.
Yeah. But here's what I'm saying, Kev. You have some light skin privilege. If you walk into a store and Brian walk into a store, who do you think is going to get the most attention?
That's a good question, but I've been followed. But that's my point. It doesn't matter because I have walked into stores and been followed by security. I have been profiled in every situation you could be profiled in. So when as a black man that has traveled this country over and over again, the reason I have tinted windows on my car is because I don't want nobody to know my black ass is in there. Because I travel in a lot of southern states as a stand-up comic. And I'm going through places where I feel safe knowing I got tinted windows and people can't see who's actually inside the car. if I thought I had some sort of privilege being light skinned, I wouldn't have those tinted windows. You know, there's times when I would want to leave my hotel at night and drive home. I'm afraid to drive through the southern states at night by myself, because if I get pulled over, the KKK or the Proud Boys or these racist ass cops, they're not gonna go, that's a light skinned brother, let him go.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna deal with the same thing that Wesley Snipes is gonna deal with if I run into that racist crew.
You be killing me. You're not. In certain situations, Kev, you're not. I'm sorry. I got a full-fledged light-skinned sister. She can get more than what I can be able to get. I'm sorry. I'm not going for her.
Hey, Chip, the last time I looked in the mirror, you're not Cicely Tyson.
I know I'm not Cicely Tyson.
All right,
But
so
you
you need to get up
tell me
off of
you
that,
don't
because
got no
you
light-skinned privilege.
only one day at the beach darker than me, okay? So don't act like you
You know
no
what?
damn don't come up in here acting like you freaking
Listen,
your first name is chocolate all of a sudden.
listen, I want to say we are protected.
you milk chocolate. You ain't dark chocolate.
You know what? Listen, Carl, we are protected by fair use only, educational purposes only. We do not own the rights to the music, to the videos that Carl is about to be playing, okay? We just want to let y'all know that.
Oh, by the way,
Please
can we get some opinions from the people watching on this light skin thing? Because it's very interesting. And you hit it right on the nose. You hit it right on the nose, brother. Brian hit it right on the nose. Colorism is more of an issue with the black community than it is with racist ass white people.
Oh, no. I don't think so. We talking about, what about the workplace? We got to get into the workplace. We get into those things where you'll get picked before certain. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't. I really. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go through this with you.
All right. All right. Let's get the show started. So we got.
I love you, Tim.
I love you too, my light-skinned brother.
Can't get Kevin to admit he has a little bit of privilege. Kevin, you do have a little bit of privilege, but he doesn't want to. So he's just gonna move on. But you do have some privilege. Some. It might not be a lot.
No, it's not a lot, but you got a little bit.
You got some.
Well, I'll be glad when I see it. Somebody let me know.
Okay, I'm sure
Trump's policies is hurting all Black Americans, not just the brown, dark-skinned ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hurting any Black person.
Everybody. It's
everybody.
all 39 shades of black. We
But you gotta think about it too. We have been through, our people and our ancestors have been through worse things than Trump, y'all. We are going to survive. We just going through bumps and hurdles. We are going to survive. He's just acting up, showing us who he truly is, and the rest of his friends are showing who they truly are. And to be honest, I'm glad that we are seeing people for who they are, so we can look more deep into ourselves and start helping ourselves in our communities.
Yeah, there's no excuse now to not
No
help
excuse.
one another. There's no excuse now. If you're saying that racism does not exist now, then you're either blind or you're just gaslighting yourself and everybody around you. I mean, period. You can't deny it.
Can't deny it.
All right, Kevin, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure when Patricia first met you and her friends were asking, what's he like? And she goes, oh, girl, he light skinned. I guarantee.
And he tall and light skinned.
Kevin laughed because he know that's true.
Yes, he
Well, I am tall and light skinned. So I don't know. I don't know if that helped my love life or not. So
I tell everybody, when I first met them, I thought they were short.
Yeah.
When they came up, I looked up like, damn, y'all tall.
All right, folks. Here we go. This is the real. Well, that was part of the show. So, yeah, let's get started.
I am one of the 300,000 Black women who have lost.
May come back and bite me, and that'll be fine. I don't mind being around white people. I don't mind having to work with them and coexist alongside of them. However, when it comes to community on the inside, what I have, you're just not welcome. No. You not welcome. You're not welcome.
That goes for the fraternities, sororities.
You're just not welcome.
I never understood that.
I never understand, and that's somebody who, and neither one of us are D9, but I that's something I never understood, and it takes me back to my great grandparents' house on my mom's side, right in South Dallas, who was very much so. Can a white man come in his house? And watching Sinners, I'm like, somebody else who I wish was alive, which was my great grandfather on my mom's side, like, because we had him up until 2007, so I had him for a lot of my life as well. And I was like, God damn, I know Papa would have something to say about this right here. Yeah, no, you just, and it's,
and you see why.
It is, yeah, and the thing is, it's like, it's not hateful or anything like that. It's just a simple fact of like, no, thank you.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You already showed your hand.
Multiple times.
400 years.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Fool me twice.
Shame on me. And I invited in. And
that's why now, and you probably seen me on this type of energy, but it's a big delineation movement. As far as like you see people like around our age, even maybe a little bit older, that they're cool with segregation. I'm cool with going back.
Once again, my grandfather, who's born in 23, he always said
that was the worst mistake.
He always said the worst thing that happened to us was desegregation, and he didn't. And for him, his thing was like, give us the resources, give us what we need, but still, like, we are good when we're able to police ourselves, work within ourselves. Like we are so good like that. And I mean, it just goes back to something that J. Edgar Hoover always said, who was head of FBI in his long ass reign for no reason.
We're looking for the Black Messiah.
Not even that. No, not even. I wasn't going to say that. I was going to speak on one of his closest when he said the most powerful thing in the world is Negro unity, and we have to do everything to make sure that never comes to be. That's why,
yeah. And now we got to a point where everybody's scared to be a leader because they scared to get killed.
Well, what I was gonna say when it came down to damn it, I literally just lost my train of thought. Something else that I feel that made Sinners so powerful was this idea of breaking generational curses.
Yeah.
Because you hear that a lot from our generation. You know,
going into 2025 and the country under new leadership, is there a direction that the Black community should be focused?
We have tried everything in our 400-year sojourn but one thing, and that's unity. In order for us to get freedom, justice, and equality, we need to do what other ethnic groups have done. We are scared of the word separation. And when I say separation, that don't mean separating from others with the intent of hating them. I'm talking about separating with others where we pool our resources together and we begin to do for ourselves what we've begged others to do for us. And we got to stop begging for a Democratic Party or a Republican Party to do for us what we could unite and do for ourselves. We have a $1.7 trillion spending power, and the dollar don't circulate for 6 hours in the Black community before it's gone. So we need to create a Black economy, which we can handle all of our business. And until we do that, dear brother, no other group will respect us.
Integration destroyed Black people. Who integrated us? There has never been integration. There's only been desegregation. Deseg is not the same. When you desegregate, you forcibly remove the legal barriers to entry. So public schools desegregate. They removed the barriers that excluded Blacks. But did they force you into the white school? No. When they desegregated the white hospitals, did they force you to close down your Black hospitals and start going to the white hospitals? Did they force you to leave your Black communities and move into the white community? Did they force you to stop sending your children to HBCUs and start overwhelmingly sending them to PWI universities? The white man desegregated. The Black man integrated. We wanted to be with white people. We love white people. Why do you think educated black men marry snow bunnies more than the men of every other race put together? We are intoxicated with Caucasian people, and we keep on making excuses as to why we don't want to leave them people alone. And truth be told, it's because of our racial inferiority complex that has us believing that if you ain't got no white people around you, if you ain't living with white, if you ain't dating white, if you ain't sleeping white, if you ain't working white, if you ain't learning white, then you are an inferior being.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. We in a safe space dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know it, Kevin, Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We're giving you everything, you won't challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. Built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God above. It's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
All right. Welcome everybody. We did start the show with we all agree that Kevin does light skin privilege. So doesn't want it. He's got it. He know he's got it. He's always had it, but he doesn't want to admit it. But yeah, today's show we're talking about segregation. Did it hurt and help? I mean, I wasn't here during the segregation year, but I watched videos, TV, read books, so I'm not proficient on this. So I'll let the experts handle this, but it seems that some people feel that integration was what hurt Black people instead of having Black people try to sit in the restaurant owned by white people. The narrative should be to have Black people try to own their own restaurants so we can own our own stuff. And that's what hurt a lot of Black people. But
we did own our own stuff. They came in and burnt it down, Carl. But, that's why we had, Tulsa and Rosewood and all these other cities that are not as popular as those two all over. And they all got burnt down and destroyed by white supremacists. So we had our own. But I think going up to Dr. King, who is the man most responsible for what we're discussing at the moment, because he was the one that, basically gave his life to have us integrating with white people. And I think, and we know later on he regretted that decision, as Haile Belafonte told America about a private conversation that they had together, where he said, "I felt I led my people into a burning house." So he kind of regretted, at the end of his life, that he didn't think it was possible that these people would ever change and accept us and all that sort of stuff. But also his motivation was because of Jim Crow laws and the redlining that, we went through. Our schools and our restaurants and our neighborhoods didn't have good things. So he figured if we get, fought so we can get into those other schools, we'll have better education, access to better teachers, access to, better grocery stores, better whatever the case may be. So that was the motivation, was if we get in with them, then we'll get better for ourselves because they have better. I mean, in a nutshell, that's that whole thing.
So
In a nutshell.
That's what he was thinking at that moment. He did not
Yeah,
know
at that moment, he figured he could better our lives if we integrated because they had better lives.
Better resources.
You know what I'm saying?
Resources. Okay.
But better resources. Thank you very much. That makes much more sense.
Yeah, I don't think lives,
but
better resources.
But yeah, better resources. But when, like I said, at the end, he kind of regretted it because he, realized, how mentally ill racism is in this country,
right.
And that, it was probably not worth all the trouble that he put us that he went through to get this done. Because, like he said, I believe I led my people into a burning house, and he was saying, basically, I effed up.
Right.
So
Yeah, but
yeah,
you know what really bothered me? Something that Umar said. You know, I know Umar's going through it, but he's still a very intelligent man. Something that he said, yeah, we went into these schools, but we really didn't have to. Or did they threaten us from behind the scenes? Because we did have our own schools already, because they wouldn't let us in. We just needed more resources. Is it that we did that to get more resources? Like, why did they? Why did they even go into it when we was doing better without them?
That
yeah, we didn't
that
have the
was such
resources.
a powerful statement he said, and I'll be honest with you, I had never thought of it that way until just now. I had never thought about the fact that wow, we didn't have to go over there. Maybe it could have been something, particularly in school. I've been in in education for a number of years, and resources can get allocated and reallocated. So maybe that was why.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to other things, though, we didn't have to start going to white stores. We didn't have to start going to other white owned businesses. We had our own. I remember the first person to ever tell me that was my mother. I remember my mother telling me, probably in my early 20s, she's like, segregation, I think, destroyed us. And when she was saying that, when we were walking around in my hometown in Florida, I live in San Francisco, but I'm from Florida, which is, a lot of people don't think it's South, but Florida's
That's the South,
yeah,
yeah.
that's the deep South.
Yes, it
And
is.
there was a street, and all I had ever known this street was just kind of this kind of rundown street. And she pointed out all these empty buildings. She was like, baby, at
Yes.
one time, these were thriving businesses. And I couldn't even
Yes.
conceptualize it, because all I had known was they were run down since I was born. And she said, we owned all of this. This was all thriving, bustling. We didn't have to go across the tracks. But when segregation came, that's what we started doing. And it hurt our businesses. It hurt our communities. I'm
Yes,
sure
it did.
we've all heard the story of the Iceman coming through, when you had ice boxes, and you had the black Iceman who would sell the sheets of ice to keep your ice box cold. But when the integration came, they began to buy from the white Iceman, and they asked this black man why, and it was like, well, because that white man's ice is colder. And it's like,
Isn't
yeah.
that something?
And it's like, it's ice. It's the same, but you just think because it's been touched by white
The
hands
white water is better.
that it's better. And so that's the mentality for us to survive this segregation thing. It kind of goes back to what Umar says. We have to stop being afraid to separate. And I think it was the first brother that said that, but it's not a separation because we hate people. Nobody accuses
Right. That's right.
Asian
It's not
people.
that.
Yeah, no one accuses Asian people of hating us because they have their own community. Nobody says that about Jewish people.
That's
The
right.
Latino community is very, very strong with that. You're out here in Cali, you'll see Mexican, Latino neighborhoods that are thriving because they're just circulating their dollars. So we have to stop being afraid to do that on our own.
That's right. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh.
So to ask the question, I mean, do you think that we should, like, they say necessity is the mother of invention. So should we be upset for what Trump is doing, or should we just, okay, we got to regroup, we got to stick together? As the video showed, the guy in the podcast, he said, Black unity is something we haven't had in 400 years. So is this the time now for us to unite rather than argue?
Yeah, we're
It's been
supposed
time.
to be reunited.
It's been time. It's been time. I mean, it's one thing that I've learned about racist people, because I went to a PWI for college, and even before that, with my father being in the military, I went to two separate high schools, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. The one on the West Coast was the predominantly white high school. And one thing I've learned from just being around racists, and not all the white people I was around were racist, but one thing I've learned from being around racists is that they're going to do and say and think what they're going to do, say, and think, regardless of what we do, say, or think. So if Trump is looking at doing this, we can protest, we can do all that, this, that, and the other, but I don't think it's something to be afraid of. I think, and the reason I say that is because we have history on our side. History tells us that every time they have done that when slavery was ended and we could move around and stuff, they told us then, we don't want you around us. So we didn't go around us. And as Kevin mentioned before, we created Tulsa, we created Rosewood, we created the other 29 communities that were burned down. So we've done it before. It's just in doing it again, you have to basically be ready for the BS that comes.
Dr. O even said that when he was here. Dr. O said it's something, they did a study or something, and they saw that black people will help white people before they'll help black people. Like they'll go to them first. It's just something that gives off. So I don't know why our people don't want to help each other more. Seeing all of this that's going on, seeing the behavior of different white people, especially in the South. We've been seeing a lot of stuff go on in Alabama and stuff with this, you can do it, but this one can't do it, So we need to stick together. And it's not like we don't have time. We have enough time to stick together and work more with each other instead of against one another and start building, start building some foundations.
Yeah. Let me read. Okay, highly favored said they integrated us to take advantage of our resources.
Yes, we money.
Very good point.
We're money. We've been money to them. Remember, we came here as money. They saw us as money. That's us. We are walking money. So they know they need us regardless to what. So that's why they wanted to keep us together. They said this could be a good idea. We don't have to live with them. We don't have to be around them, but we can take their money. And that's the mentality of people from all over the world dealing with people in America, especially Black Americans. We can get their money, you understand? But we're not going to spend our money with them, okay? But we're going to take their money, okay? Because we are the big spenders.
The Koreans come into the black neighborhoods, the Chinese, the Indians, but do they have a house in the where there's the story?
No.
No.
They don't have a house next door. They don't have a house.
They don't put into the community. They don't do a cookout, a Chinese cookout, somebody cookout, Arabian. Show us your culture. Show us what we spend all this money with y'all. They don't look at us like that. They look at us as money, make money off these people, smile up in their face, make they feel happy, and then they go about their business.
Yeah, I remember hearing when I was in North Carolina, there were a lot of foreign-run stores, and one of them told me that they call us liquid gold because when they come into their communities, we're going to pour our resources into them.
But it's true though.
Yeah, we do. I mean, without fail. I mean, the only, they won't give us the loans to do it.
No.
To open up those stores, but they'll give them to them and they go directly to us. And, we just pour in.
Yeah. I mean, a video, it's I think it was produced by the government of America, but I think I showed it on this called How to Sell to the Negro. And
yeah, I saw that.
How to Sell to the Negro. They actually have a production video showing how to sell to the Negro.
Yep.
So, like you said, they're like, but they obviously don't like us. All the nail shops in the black neighborhoods are run by Koreans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All black women, or the 0.9% people patronizing those shops are black.
Yes, they do. Even the African braiders. You would never, and you look, they don't spend money with us in our community. We put into their community. You understand? And that's not good. We're supposed to be putting it into each other. You understand what I'm saying? But
Right.
we as Black people, we put more money into everybody else than we put into ourselves. And even with, go ahead.
Okay, we know the problem, we see the problem, we acknowledge the problem, but yet still we continue to do the same thing day after day, night after night. So what's the solution for us to? And I guess they get loans, right? We go to a bank, but they don't loan to Black people. I mean, would they loan to a person who just landed here from China? They would.
Oh, you know that because yes, they do it all the time. Why you think they can get businesses faster than we can be able to get businesses? You know, because remember, yeah, they could probably be immigrants here, but if they mess up, what happens? They can send them back. But also they know that they're not connected with us. So they know they're gonna take our money, make their money, and do what they gotta do. It's us. We gotta wake up. You understand? And you gotta remember when you've been programmed for 300 to 400 years, how are you supposed to be? It's gonna take some time to reprogram us.
So are we slow? Because I hope 100 years from now we're not gonna have this. I mean, another 4 people sitting down talking about the same thing over and over again. I mean, are we seeing any changes? Is anything changing slowly? I mean, is any progress being made?
It is making, I see different progress. You're seeing a lot of Black people investing more into land, you know, into communities. It's taking slowly but surely, but I've been seeing it. It's happening. And to be honest, we need to stop telling everybody our business. Do you see Asians and Jews up there with the money in their hand, like we're about to open up a business? This is what we're about to do. But they don't do that. We're the only one that makes a public announcement to everybody. Make your thing, do your thing. Don't let
Yeah, move in
everybody know like the
silence.
whole world.
But I
Yeah.
think that whole thing, Tiffany, with Black people holding up money and bragging about, you know, they got 10,000 and they feel like they got the world by the balls because they got 10,000 in cash. I think that all society treating you like you're nothing, right? And we just feel like we need to tell people because we've seen videos where there was a video where there was a Black guy in a neighborhood and this white guy felt he wasn't supposed to be there. And the Black guy literally said to him, I own a business, I own my own house, I own a car. He was going down the list of things that he has. And I'm like, why does he feel the need to tell this white man who he has never, he probably would never even see again in his life?
Right.
He felt that he owned a house, he owned a business, you know what I mean? Because a society like you're nothing. So you always feel like you.
Yeah. And it's conditioning too. Sorry about that. It's conditioning too. As Tiffany was mentioning, for 400 years, we've been programmed a certain way. We've been programmed to look at white people a certain way, but we've also been programmed to look at ourselves a certain way. We've been programmed to not trust one another. We've been programmed to compete against one another. So those are mentalities that need to be broken down, that need to be done away with. I mean, granted, there is friendly competition, but the type of competition that we do stems from white people convincing us that in order to be around them, and it's that segregation kind of okey doke again, there can really only be just one. Like Tiffany was mentioning in reference to Kevin, you know, they might want you to be the one Black guy, right? So we've got to stop thinking as though I'm in direct competition. Yes, okay, I'm an author, I write books, but does that mean that I cannot help another Black author? No, there's enough for us to go around. I have Black authors or aspiring authors who come up and talk to me all the time. If I'm doing a book signing or if they'll reach out to me on social media. Yeah, I'm like, here's what you do, you know, because I'm not going to sell everybody. I might not be your cup of tea as far as an author is concerned, but this brother might be, so let me help him out. This sister might be, let me help him out. So we've got to get that conditioning out of our minds.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian, I'm an author also, man. And you know, my books sell more because I'm light skinned. So I just wanted to point that.
Yes.
Hey, you go. If that's the case, you gonna have me doing a Drewski.
Pamela Jones, what's up, Pam? That other communities lend money to their own people. That is true.
Right.
And because I learned how they own, how like you notice a certain group owns the gas stations, the 7-Elevens, and the way they. But why can't we do the same thing? We buy one gas station when it starts to make money. We loan another person to open another gas station. Well, how come we can't do that? Like you would say, Puerto Rican move in their neighborhood, one house, 50 people, right? Then they buy a second house, and then per house, and they buy a second house. That's like 12 people per house, and then they buy another house until everyone owns a house. What are we so traumatized? We can't unity. Like the guy saying in the video, why is it so hard for us? And it's not just when I talk, I'm talking about the Caribbean as a whole. It's the same issues that Black people have here. Trust me, we have the same issues in Barbados, Trinidad, St. Lucia, and any Caribbean island you go to where there's the same issues. Here we issues, no matter where you go.
Right. So, right. I think it's that competition thing again. I think a lot of us, because we've been conditioned to think that there can only be one successful Black guy in this area or one successful Black woman in this area. So when we look and see another brother succeeding or another brother trying to get into an area where we're succeeding, we feel as though he's a threat. And I remember actually hearing about, I think it was in the Bahamas. There were these two franchise owners that they kind of vowed that they weren't going to be that way. One on the KFC, one on the McDonald's. And you were like, look, no, we're going to send people to each other's, because you know what? One day I might not want chicken, so I'm going to go over and get a burger from you. One day you might not want burgers, so you can come get chicken from me. We're going to build each other up. We don't understand that if Kevin wins and Kevin helps me, now we're both winning, or vice versa. It's not a competition. I mean, there is, like I said earlier, there's friendly competition, but we all want to be the best, but being the best does not mean I can't help you be your best. And we don't do that. So
we don't.
The whole thing about banks is a problem too. We've got to start our own banking. We have to start our own banking.
And it's not like we don't have the money to do it. We have a couple of billionaires or people that can be able to invest into a reputable bank. I mean, come on.
We do have Black banks, because I think we did a show, and I found.
Yeah, we have Blacks. One United is a Black bank. One United is a big Black bank.
I think Carver is a Black bank.
Yeah, One United.
But you want to hear something?
How do they do on lending to Black people?
Right, that's the thing.
That's a question that I would have. I need to look into these banks, because it's great to have a Black bank, but do you have any programs that are going to help Black people come up?
Right, and are they just a cover for a Black bank, but is run by a white organization? We got to worry about that also, because you have a lot of that going on. Because I think, what's his name, Killer Mike and them was supposed to be doing some bank thing. You had to be on a waiting list, and you try to support your people, but it's just, again, we need a reputable bank that we know is Black owned, Black run, and we can be able to build businesses from it and get loans and help, because these banks, they do look at us, and when we check that we're Black, that's a part of the test, okay?
Right.
I think that one of the problems too with the Black bank was not enough people were putting money in those banks, but there was a lot of issues with depositing money, getting money. There was a lot of issues. I mean, I guess it's kind of the Isaac Hayes Junior, who's trying to get us to go over to fan
Fan
base.
base, yeah.
But I mean, I want to go support him, but man, it's not as easy as TikTok. I mean,
yeah.
Why is that? Can you tell me that? Because I don't understand when they want us to give them $300. They're asking for money.
Who?
Fan.
That's website. What's his name? With
Fan
Isaac
base?
K's son.
Yeah, he's
Fan base.
They
$300.
invest.
They
He said
asked you for $300. They
Oh,
asked you to invest into this thing. I'm like, I didn't have to pay TikTok or Instagram or Facebook.
well, I kind of, now that you mentioned it as an investment, I kind of understand, because it is going to take some investment to get it there. And the reason I say that is, you know, we don't have the resources in the Black community that some people have. I mean, I live in Silicon Valley. I mean, it's the tech stuff out here is just ridiculous. And that's long old money. And you know, some of these tech, they call them tech bros out here, they can throw 10 million at something, it fail, and they like, oh, okay, well, what are we gonna do now? You know what I'm saying? So we don't just have those resources. So I can understand why he's wanting to do that. It's just, is he explaining? I'm just hearing of this. Is he explaining where that's going to go and what that's?
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. I'm sure
Yeah.
he is. He's not asking people to send him money, not telling them what he's doing
Yeah.
with it. So I'm sure he's.
The website. It's for the website to build the website. You know, like I need more information. You know, that's how I feel. I need more. Like I said, I don't have a problem with supporting it. I went on it, but then it kept popping up to, you know, do $300. I'm like, wait a minute. Are they serious? Like, it's an advertisement. They want you to invest. They want you to invest. And I didn't know. I thought that we were moving through algorithms, you know, and stuff like I didn't know it's politics and social media. So maybe he do need the
Yeah.
money to do the platform, but is it to buy your own server? You know, like I need to know these things. Like if we doing this, is this buying where we don't have to go into Google, we can go into you. Do you understand what I'm saying? What is the main goal of us paying $300 for a site like Facebook and Instagram?
By the way, I'm reading about One United Bank as we talking here. Two of the main investors into this bank is Irvin Magic Johnson and Janet Jackson. Yeah. Along with Jerry Busby, who one of the owners of the Los Angeles Lakers. So they're big people behind this bank. Yeah. So there you have it.
He's a black man.
Jerry Busby's, no, he's not a black man. He is a white man. But Magic and Janet are black.
I don't get, again, it's still a white hand in it. And that's
Right.
it's like everything. Let me tell you something. I learned a lot about different, like these companies, when you have people doing these liquor companies, these hair companies and all of that, a lot of them don't own it. They own a certain percentage of it, but half of it is owned by somebody else, especially with big money. Louis Vuitton, Hennessy, and Moet, they own a lot of half of businesses of black people. Okay? A lot. And one of them is Riri. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is, why it can't just be just black owned, just black owned, you know, or are they giving us outlets like that? You know, I don't know. I don't know what our people are doing with their money, especially our successful billionaires. I think we have like 10 of them that's in America, right? I don't know. I don't know the numbers of billionaires, black billionaires we have here in America. But don't we have enough?
Yeah, I think we do. I think Carl mentioned this the last time I was on, whether or not relying on black billionaires is the answer. And I think Carl, I think you said that you didn't agree with that, and I agreed with you saying that. The brother mentioned that we have 1.7 trillion in spending power. We don't need billionaires. I mean, you need them. It's good to have them. But I think that and I think this is where the idea of unity comes in, because if you have enough business savvy people who are not yet billionaires to where if we get these people and we get together with these type of people, we get together with this spending power, we could do something. There's enough of us that know about business, marketing, things to just pool resources together, and we just build each other up. But we got to get out of this competition, because that's one thing that's one thing that I've seen is, it could be four of us, and if Carl starts having too many good ideas, the tendency in our community is for Brian to start competing with Carl to be the one.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So if we just get together and we just kind of know our roles and just build, we can go up. But we've had so much division sewn into us that it's I think that is a uphill climb.
Yeah. I think it was, I forgot the other brother's name, because I was saying I don't understand why, and I've said it before, and Tiffany and Kevin know, why you have like a basketball team or a football team and you have all these millionaires in one room. Why can't they get together and start something? Why can't they invest and give us a Microsoft or give us an Apple or give us something huge that Black people can be employed and have great salaries, and that can continue for generations and generations? And the other brother was saying that even though these are poor, these are men and women who were poor all their lives, now they have all these millions, they are kind of afraid, you know what I mean, like, if
that's why they are chosen.
But if you 100 million, you can't take a million. 10 of you can't take.
They rather buy a car and a chain.
We don't have. It's also the wealth gap, that we've had to deal with too. And it's a big wealth gap between the white America and Black America, right? Yeah. We all know that. So I don't know if everybody got chains, but I mean, I think Black people got. Look, I just read here, and we got 40 million. I think 40 million African Americans that live in America. Somewhere around 46 now, 47. Is that the right number? Somewhere around that number of African Americans, around 47 million. And out of 47 million Black people in America, we have 107 on record here, as I'm reading, 179 million of them are millionaires.
Yeah.
That's not even a large number.
No, that's not a large number, because I'm looking at the Forbes.
179 million Black people are millionaires out of 47 million people.
Yeah. And look, and they said there are 21 Black billionaires in the world, but only 10 of them is from America.
Yeah.
But my point that I'm making is, as Black, we all see the plight. We all see the problems we have. We all see the people that hate. We know it, right? So you as a Black person, and maybe I don't understand it, but me as a Black person, I think we should be trying to help each other. So if you are a Black athlete and you have 100, and you're in a room with 15 other making 100 million or 50 million, whatever, you can't take one of your million and say, hey, let's start something. You don't have a financial advisor. You don't see that people are struggling and you can do something to help. You don't want to do. That's the part I don't understand. But in those circles, but this is just me thinking outside. I'm not in the arena, but this is just me thinking outside. I'm looking in, but I just don't understand how we can have all this money, and we do have all this trillions of dollars of spending power, but where are we spending it?
Yeah. in other communities.
We're giving it right back to them.
Other communities, yeah. And Carl, I agree. That's something that we can do. I mean, I say we, I'm talking about the Black community as a whole. If I remember Jim Brown was one of the first people I ever heard saying that as far as helping the Black community. It was a panel of successful pro athletes, and I remember Jackie Joyner Kersey being up there, and she pushed back on that very hard. She was like, it was basically like Bobby Brown, my prerogative. I made this money, you didn't. And she was, that was her push. And what do you do with that? Because it's a great idea, but you can't make those athletes do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of them don't want to do it.
Yeah,
They
a lot of them
good where
don't
they
want
at.
to. Yeah, they're like, I made mine, you make yours. And so it's unfortunate. And that was the reason why I said we can't sit and rely on rich
The
Black people who have
billionaires and
made it,
millionaires.
millionaires and billionaires, because a lot of them they don't want to do it. And I think and it's not like I'm faulting them. I mean, we've all had it hard in this country. So I think when we get ours, I think we take a big sigh. I think that's what happens. Because we've dealt with so much shit here. I don't care who wants to say that it's true or not. We know what we've dealt with here, and
emotionally and mentally.
Right. Yeah, what we continue to deal with on all of those fronts. So I think when you get a guy like like one of these guys, like Anthony Edwards, he's big time guy right now, signed a huge contract with the Timberwolves. When he retires, these guys are kind of like, I ain't thinking about nothing else.
Yeah, a lot of them don't have no money afterwards because they didn't know how to invest their money. Because it's coming out now that a lot of the athletes are becoming broke, or they didn't properly, was successful financially, didn't have financial education on how to deal with their money. Because they get these people that they know they can control and they can continue to take from. That's why they don't want you to be in a strong atmosphere. That's why the Sanders boys, the two Sanders boys, is having all their issues right now. They mad because they got a daddy.
Right. A rich daddy who is
a rich daddy, and he know the game better than almost all of them. So they don't like that. So they're gonna be fouling them, trying to play games with them. You saw one of the white boys punched him in his face, or like yanked his thing or something, and he swung on that ass. He was like, "You're not gonna be trying to hurt me." But it's serious. It's serious.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to Tiffany's favorite. Tiffany can't believe Donald Trump said we were born criminals.
Yeah.
That
right there is crazy.
That's funny.
So, without any further ado, I will let you hear for yourself.
I need to see. This could be AI. Let me see.
No, it's not AI. I'm gonna have to get it.
I need to see this. This is exclusive, y'all, because if this man said this is what they really see us as. Criminals. As soon as we come out the vagina, we like this. We're about to steal some shit. Okay? Like, what is going on? Just please show us, please. I just...
Here, a couple of videos. So here we go.
Are Black people born to be criminals?
These are hardcore criminals. We took many people off the streets of Washington, D.C. They're hardcore. They're not going to be good. In 10 years, in 20 years, in 2 years, they're going to be criminals. They were born to be criminals, frankly. They were born to be criminals.
No,
they were born to be criminals, and they're tough and mean, and they'll cut your throat, and they won't even think about it the next day.
Governor Wes Moore is firing back, escalating his war of words with the White House, comparing the president to racist TV character Archie Bunker and calling the comment a dog whistle in an appearance in Howard County.
Do not listen to what Donald Trump called you yesterday. When the president from the Oval Office calls you natural-born killers, children who are born to be violent, I say this: I respect the office, but I will never honor ignorance.
So I asked the governor if he thought he could use any kind of federal help combating crime.
We have been very clear with this administration that federal resources like that, like FBI and ATF, et cetera, those are always useful.
But Moore says he draws the line at the National Guard.
So Trump said more criminals. So I'm going to play some videos. This is a trigger warning. This is going to involve some stuff that might make you, tear up a bit. Let's see who are foreign criminals.
Got a book called 100 Years of Lynching written by white men. Taking black women who was 4 months pregnant, they took us for years and hung us up at the feet and stuck a dagger in the stomach and ripped it and pulled the unborn baby out just to put fear in other slaves. They tied up black people to horses and 2 horses and pulled his arms out and pulled his legs out. Lemonade trains with white children and white people of America used to come and watch them tie up 10 or 15 black men and pour gasoline on them and burn them, watch them burn alive. They took us and hung us up with trees and shot us with bullets. They took and cut a hand off and gave it to the little boy and they took the leg off. And this is worse than the devil.
All right, but...
see, the devil, the preacher in the church taught us that the devil was up under the ground.
Right.
And he'll wait till he died before he burn us up. This white devil in America was worse because he burned us while we was alive. He didn't wait till we died. So what I'm trying to say is the deeds and the works. And I think this, if Elijah Muhammad can stand in America for 42 years before my little black self was born and say that the American white man is the devil, then the white man should get up and say you are alive.
They made him eat his own flesh, then called it justice. This is the America they don't teach. Claude Neal was 23 when they turned his body into their dinner theater. And y'all still say racism's exaggerated? 6 hours of torture, cutting, burning, forcing him to chew his manhood, while 5,000 white folks cheered like it was the Super Bowl. The photo evidence still exists. His mother had to identify what was left. Just skin hanging from a tree like Christmas decor. They reopened the case in '69, when all the killers were retired with grandkids. That's not an investigation. That's a punchline. This book names every accomplice, the deputies who handed him over, the doctors who watched him bleed out for entertainment. They claim no one alive to prosecute, with the system that protected them still working overtime in Florida today. Get this book before they ban it. The unwhitewashed truth is the most dangerous weapon we've got.
The youngest person executed in the U.S. was wrongfully convicted, and his story will leave you in tears. In 1944, 14-year-old George Stinney was accused of murdering 2 white girls in South Carolina. His trial lasted just 2 hours, and an all-white jury convicted him in only 10 minutes, with no evidence, no defense, and no justice. On June 16th, George was taken to the electric chair. He was so small they had to use a Bible as a booster seat. His arms, legs, and body were strapped down. His father was only allowed to approach the chair to say his final words to his son, before being forced to leave. As an officer asked if he had any last words, George just shook his head. He was continuously sobbing as a leather strap was placed over his mouth. Then the switch was flipped. The mask meant to cover his face was too big. When the electricity hit, it slipped off, revealing his tear-streaked face. 70 years later, in 2014, George Stinney was finally exonerated. But it was too late. He was innocent all along. Like this video to honor George's memory. Justice delayed is justice denied. Follow the Cursed Archives for similar true stories.
It's time we speak the fuck up. Stop letting these people talk that like that. We let anybody in this community. We're too welcoming. I see a white boy hit the nay-nay in a goddamn sweater vest. It's 1,000 comments from my people inviting that cookout. Who cookout could he come to? Not ours. We wear koofies at our cookout. It's only beef ribs on our grill. Fuck you. But I never forget, one of my cousins was drunk as shit and invited a random white person to the party. Dig right in, making big ass plates. Mind you, John, my seafood salad. Okay? This piling it up like this. She got a pile this high of seafood salad. Where the you going? Let me tell you who don't play with them whites. Wanda. She said, what the you doing? Just like that, what the are you doing? White boy? He said, oh, buddy here said I could come and say, come on, he's my friend. My mom cussed him out. Took the plate and scooped the back in the trays. You ain't welcome here.
All right, so you saw Trump's they're natural born killers. I mean, we know that's the way they they view us. He's just saying it out loud. And that just gives to do whatever. So I mean, I think like this is a time for us. I mean, we should have been now. If this doesn't do it now, now that we have resources, now that we have more financial, we have
no excuses.
unite right now. I don't think anything will. Brian, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, as you said, that's how we've been viewed. I think back to my father, excuse me, when I was a teenager, he would always tell me, son, you can't do things like your white friends do. He said, you're viewed differently, whether regardless of how much anybody smiles at you, regardless of how much anybody speaks nicely to you, this is how you're viewed. And it took me experiencing that, to see that he was right. So yeah, I think that is a dog whistle. And I think that is something that we as Black people need to prepare for. Because we've seen what this government has done when it chooses to focus on Black folks who are not even doing anything. You had the Black Panthers, as they're referred to, but their real name is the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. So they were people that were wanting to just defend themselves from the police. And they were focused on by J. Edgar Hoover to be shut down, not from doing anything crazy. You'd be surprised at the people who think that the Black Panthers were running around hanging white people. And we know that they weren't, but they focused on them and shut them down. So I think it's something that, we need to really, really be focused on preparing to deal with. I mean, you stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
Listen, he was projecting. That's what Trump was. He was projecting who he is and who his fellow white people are. Natural born killers. Okay, they the one that started this. We didn't come over here killing. We was never taught, as Sister Soldier said, we was never taught to kill people, kill white people at that. We was never taught that. We was taught to be submissive to them. They are the boss, okay? So him saying all of that, he's just projecting off of him and his friends and all his ancestors and the people that been here taking advantage of Black people.
Gina is our resident white. Gina is our number one fan. Gina's been with us from the beginning, but sometimes it's much. And Gina said she couldn't watch when Muhammad Ali was talking about, and then the whole lynching thing. Gina can't handle that, but she said she'd go away and come back when those videos were over. But she's back, and here's what she said. She was responding to you, Brian. That Brian, to me, as a not person of color, I don't get that. I mean, I comprehend that people of color have to act differently. What I don't understand is why. To me, people are people poorly, mean or abusive. Yeah, Gina, that's you. I get that's how you are. We know that you are. That's how you always have been. But those are not the white people we run into in our daily lives. I don't run into too many white people like you. That's the truth.
Right. It's once in a blue moon you run into somebody that's really cool and white. They some cool people. But Gina, you one in a million right now. You cool. So you're just seeing through our eyes and our situation. And when we talk, you're seeing what we have to go through without skin protection.
Yeah, there's a lot of mental gymnastics that we as Black people have to perform just to go about our daily lives. I mean, when I moved to the Bay Area, and the one thing about the Bay Area in California is you will run into a lot of white people who center Black voices. And that was an adjustment for me. This is a place that will, if you are a Black man, you are not talked down here, you know. But the thing is, there ain't a whole lot of us here. But you do have your space here to voice exactly what you were going through and what you were feeling. Now, with that said, I grew up in the South. You don't have that space in the South. If anything, you were shouted down when you mention the injustices and things that you have to deal with. It reminds me, you know, when we're talking about Gina, and I really appreciate you, Gina, for joining and making that raising this question. But Muhammad Ali talked about this very matter, and someone asked him, well, you know, because Muhammad Ali was about we need to re-separate, and the person was like, hey, but I'm a good white person. He said, okay, well, let's say there are 1 million rattlesnakes or 10,000 rattlesnakes on a hill or in this field. He said, but let's say there's 1,000 in those 10,000 that won't bite you. He goes, would it be wise for me to walk in that field and hope that I run into the 1,000 and not the other 9,000? And so these are the mental gymnastics that we have to play. Even being out here, I told the principal at the school where I'm a counselor. I told her, I said, I still get nervous if I see too many white people around me. And that's not a hatred thing. Yeah, that's not a hatred thing. It's just I've had to grow up hyper vigilant and just really understanding who was around me. I mean, we just had a story about a young man who was in, Wisconsin. He went to a barn party. Did you guys hear about that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, went to a barn party with some friends and ended up getting attacked by other people, and he was the only Black kid there. So these are things that we constantly have to watch.
Okay.
For. And it's not to say that all white people are bad. I know white people who I've got friends since I was a child who are white. But that does not mean that I do not have to be vigilant for the ones that I don't know.
And I still watch the ones I do know. Listen, I tell everybody, I grab my pocketbook as soon as I see a white person, because they've been stealing for 400 years. I grab all my stuff. I hold it real tight.
All right. Here's some kids from some. So, Brian, you mentioned a Black kid that went to a party recently and was attacked. And
that's sad.
So here's some kids from the 60s. I think this is from the 60s.
We were riding down this block, and these white people start saying, get out of here, niggas. You know, get out of my neighborhood. Don't come to this neighborhood. Then they start hitting on her. Throwing rocks and everything else. Throwing rocks. Because we were in their neighborhood. We went on a bike hike to McDonald's. We didn't mean to bother anybody. We had a nice saw a parade. We saw a gathering, so we went down there to see what was happening. All right. I mean, we didn't bother anybody. We weren't looking for trouble. I never even know people around here were like that. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
What happened to you?
Nothing happened to me, but this little boy, short boy about my size, or little short, had picked up a rock, and he was in the front of all these tall honkies. But he threw the rock. He tried to hit my sister, but he almost hit me about that much away from me. And I was sure wish he had hit me with that rock. I would pick up the rock right next to me and hit him right dead in his face. They always say niggas are doing everything. They always say we're doing everything, right? Every time the white people come down the block, we don't push them out their neighborhood and throw rocks and start hitting them. We don't bother the white people around our neighborhood, but when we get in a white neighborhood, they just push us out. Yeah. Everybody was upset. So we're nothing, you know, they were a piece of dirt, dogs. I mean, that's the way you treat an animal. I mean, God, we're human beings. Yeah. You don't treat other people like that. It's just wrong. Black, white, I don't care. A person is a person. Skin should have no bearing on how you treat a person. That's just wrong. I hate their goddamn guts.
You know, I can't say that I hate them. I can't say that it's totally the kids' fault. I mean, I'm sure their parents had some bearing on the way they feel and everything else. I think it's just a system. I don't know. I can't say that I hate them because I don't hate anybody.
Do you forgive them?
No. 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 Can't take back no hurt. But they gonna always do that. They always spit on us like we some dogs. They always gonna spit back on them. Ain't nothing gonna change.
She said, "I hate them goddamn guts."
I mean, what's different from back then to now? I mean, same
I
people.
was about to say, you didn't have to go back that far. You could have grabbed something from like the 2000s, Carl.
Right.
You know, you go back to the 64. That's still happening.
She said,
Yeah.
"Them honkies."
What the hell you go back so far for, man? You could have found something from 2005.
Yeah, you sure can. You could have went straight to Yusef Hawkins. His
Benson Hurst?
anniversary just came up.
Right.
You
Was that
understand?
Benson
It's
Hurst?
just
Yeah.
so many people that you could have went to. But
Yeah.
I get it, but yeah, that's the mentality today. And look at the young lady. We were not raised to hate white people. We were not raised to hate people of other cultures and backgrounds and stuff. We was not taught that. I know I
It's
wasn't
not
taught
us.
that. I wasn't taught that. We was just trying to survive. I'm happy that our parents kept a lot of stuff from us because if we knew half that stuff, we'll probably be suffering with anxiety with all the stuff that we have to deal with as black people. So it's really sad that them young kids just regular going to McDonald's and they're being harassed by white kids. And again, like she said, we can't blame them. It starts from somewhere and they all have parents. And like I tell you, I blame white women. I'm sorry, Gina. Some white women, they raise these racist children and then we have to deal with them. No, it's sad. We need to communicate with our children more about racism because a lot of these young people don't think that racism exists. They don't think that it exists. They think that we dumb. They listening to Chat GPT. What is up with this Chat GPT? I mean, it's just crazy. They don't want to listen to us, and we older than Chat GPT. Okay.
Well, are going to be they were traumatized. I'm sure their lives are never the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? Did those kids get any therapy? You think those kids had any kind of therapy in their life?
No, they didn't have
Seriously
no
doubt it.
daggone therapy. We still trying to get therapy now. We have black people that don't want to talk to nobody, or they feel like that's a taboo. But to be honest, sometimes we do need to communicate with people,
Yeah.
and we do have black therapists. I'm sorry, I'm not going to a white therapist, and I'm not I'm not telling them my problems because they would never understand, male or female. You understand? But it's black therapists out there and life coaches and counselors and psychiatrists that are out there and willing to help people deal with their life because it's hard out here.
It is.
We have
Yeah.
generational trauma.
Yeah. My wife's a black therapist, and
Shout out to your wife.
yeah, she puts in a lot of work, and a lot of her clients are black people, and just dealing with just everyday life. I mean, just she talks to me. I mean, about just things that I've dealt with, just some of the it's almost, I remember somebody mentioning that like black people, we live with this constant almost PTSD with the things that you got to say, and simply because someone is always telling us that we're lying. It's not that bad. It's not, that was a long time ago, and just kind of constantly putting just hurdles in front of us to continue to jump over, while they walk unhindered. And yeah, and so it's a lot. It's a lot being here, and it's to the point to where I really don't explain myself to anyone not from my community anymore. It's not my job to educate you on what I go through. You know what I go through. It's like it's like when Jane Elliott did that experiment.
Yes, the brown eye, blue eye.
And then she had this one, it was probably a few decades later, to where she asked the question. It was a room full of white people. She said, how many of you in here would trade places with black people?
Not one of them stood up.
None of them raised their hand. She goes, oh, well, maybe I didn't ask the question correctly. I'm going to ask again. How many of you in here would trade places with black people? She goes, now see, there's a problem. You won't trade places because you know what they're going through and you don't want to be treated that way. And so the fact that you are allowing others to be treated this way is the problem.
Yeah. So obviously nothing's going to change. Right?
Nope. It's not. It's not. Not going to change, Carl.
Yeah.
We can do this show until we got gray hair, walkers. We come in here for canes. Oh, hold on, let me get my cane. Sit down, and we'll still be doing the same thing, man.
Yeah, I hate to agree with Kevin, but I was very hopeful with things 20 years ago. Now in my 50s, I'm like, I look back in the fact that I'm having some of the same conversations about things that my dad was talking about, that his dad was talking about. It's like, unless God comes down and just changes himself, because there's too many people benefit from racism. It's the ills of a capitalistic society. In capitalism, there has to be a servant class. There has to be a platform upon which everybody else stands. And that is, they've determined that is what they want us to be. But we don't go with the program. That's why they're always upset with us. We don't just, we're not yassa bossing anymore. We like, no, we're not going to put up with that. So that's why there's always a problem with us, because we just won't get with the program and just shut up.
They're not in control anymore.
Yeah, shut up and take it. So, but yeah, I mean, like Kevin said, I think that until racism is their problem to fix.
Yes.
Because we did not start it. Racism is a white invention, and it is a white problem to fix.
That's the only thing they invented.
Right. And won't take credit for it. And so I tell people, like good white people, the ones who I'm not racist, you don't have to tell me. Tell your cousins. Tell your brothers. Don't sit quiet when you hear these black jokes or when they call me a nigga when I walk out the room. You need to confront them. How far are you willing to go? It's like they say, everybody wants to be black until it's time to be black.
Okay.
So how much do you really want to end racism?
That's it.
Yeah. Well, there's not enough Jane Elliott's floating around. Or Gina's.
And what's his other name? It's another man too that be fighting to it. What's his name? It's white guy.
Tim something.
Tim Wise.
Tim Wise, right.
Yes, Tim Wise is another one. He be fighting. He be fighting for black people.
Yeah,
well, before social media, we had John Brown. So I'm just saying,
that was the original. Yeah,
the original. Yeah, I'm just saying we have allies, which I think, of course, are outnumbered. And it's the sacrifice. You ready to make that sacrifice too? Because it comes with a price.
It does.
Comes with a price. Like John Brown was made an example, for example. So yeah, it comes with a price. I mean, Jane Elliott, for example, has lived a long life. She's like 90 or something like that. So she's
up there.
Yeah, she's up there, man. She's been unbothered and speaking out for a long time. But how much of an impact did she have is why nobody bothered her, because it only bother you when your impact is really starting to make a change. Then you become a target,
Right.
until you are making the change, like Dr. King or Malcolm, or just to name a few. There are many others, but that's when you become a target, and then you pay with the ultimate sacrifice. And nobody wants to make that sacrifice today.
Right.
Right.
They
Life
sure
is too
don't.
good. Life is too good. Everybody's comfortable right now.
Mhm.
Everybody's bitching from their houses. you know,
And then
Right.
something that the guy said, people are too scared to be leaders because they murk all our leaders. So
exactly.
you got to be moving in silence because they will shoot your ass. Remember, they do not want a messiah like to be born, because that means unity with black people. That's going to mess up the whole game.
Right.
Well, that's why we gotta not ordain a leader, a
Right.
so-called black leader. We have to do it as a group, because
As a
once you get a
community,
so-called
yes.
black leader, they're gonna take them out. So, and that's why people, you're not gonna get people to go so far. I mean, you have
Right.
your people that in the game fighting, but they're only gonna fight so hard because they, once you start to get to the point where you're really making a change, then that does become a target on your back.
Right.
To a certain extent, yeah.
That's why they leaving watermelons at your door. You making a change, Kev. We making a change.
Ain't no light skinned guys deal with racism.
When they sent that watermelon on your daggone stoop, I was like, fuck
Wait.
on.
They sent a water.
They left a watermelon in front of Kev's house.
Come on, man.
They've been watching the show.
Nah, man. No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
I said, Kev, you done made it. You dark skinned now.
Right.
That's funny, Tim.
All right. We were talking about things black people have to think about that white people don't have to think about. And I think this next video shows this sister who was just simply walking. You would think walking is a non-racial issue, right? Just we all walk every day, but this is the kind of stuff black people have to.
Two white girls were just walking towards me and saw me and literally didn't move. They had options, left, right, separate. They just didn't move. So we're walking towards each other and I'm staring them in their face and they're just laughing and giggling, looking forward, laughing and giggling. So we're almost tit to tit. And I said, are you gonna move the fuck? And then they separated and I walked through and I heard them go, oh my God. Now imagine if all I could say was, oh my God. Fucking ingrates.
Did she say tit to tit?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I've never heard that before. Tit to tit.
No, they walking. I mean, I was telling a friend of mine that I've been in spaces where I am working and I'm walking, and this has happened so many times because when it first started happening, I'm like, no, I must be hallucinating. It must not be. But when I'm walking with white men, if I'm walking ahead of them, they make sure they catch up with me and they're a couple steps ahead of me. Like they never want to be a couple steps behind or one step behind or next to me. They always want to make walking ahead of me. Every time.
Hey, Carl, I had that same thing at a grocery store. Walking into a grocery store today, next to a white lady, and I walk pretty fast, and I have long legs. And this lady here, yeah. So what you're saying is exactly true, man. It's so funny you just said that, because I experienced the same thing today, man, with a white lady.
Yeah, gotta beat you. Yeah, gotta get there before you do. And it's something I remember and this was an article written by a white woman. She was telling her experience. And she had, I forget where she was from, but she had moved to Maryland, right? She moved to the DMV. And she noticed that where she was from somewhere down south, but she noticed when she got to the DMV, she would just walk in a straight line and people no longer got out of her way, but she expected them to. Black people, she expected them to. And she said that's when it hit her, and she made a conscious effort to change. She was like, I've been guilty of doing this to Black women. And her article was kind of an apology. She was like, because where I was raised, I think she was from like Georgia. She was like, as I walked, Black people moved to the side. She goes, but in Maryland, I graduated high school in the DMV.
I'm from DC, Maryland.
Yeah,
So
yes,
that's
you
my
know.
home. That's my home. Yeah, that's my home, man.
So so them sisters wasn't getting out the way.
Hell no.
Right. And so I think one of them, she collided with one of them, and sister let her know, like, the hell is wrong with you? You saw me coming. And so that's when it hit her. Wow, I've been doing this to Black women all my life. And so that's just kind of that.
She had a white woman wake up call.
Huh?
It was a white woman that did
So
it.
she probably could do that. She can probably do that in some southern states and get away with it, man.
Yeah, that's what
you're not gonna do that in DMV.
No, you ain't gonna do that in the DMV. And so she ran it. She basically was walking, expecting the sister to move, and the sister didn't move, and they collided. And the sister checked her, like, "The hell is wrong with you?"
Yeah, see, that works in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Right. Right.
Georgia,
those Black people know they place.
Georgia, some goddamn where, yeah.
But you want to hear something? When I walk the street, they move the fuck out my way. I'm sorry. I don't have no problem with no white people. They just move out the way. They're like, my big mama coming. I don't have no problems. They get their ass right out the goddamn way. You better move out my way. Split open. Let the queen come through. No.
Yeah, I mean, it's common courtesy, and we've been taught to exercise common courtesy, like the young lady said in the video. We haven't been taught to hate you.
Right.
With the kids that were throwing the rocks, we haven't been taught to hate them, but they've been taught to hate us.
Yes.
And so we've been taught common courtesy. You see somebody coming towards you, okay, let me slide. Let me give you some room. But you're not giving any room. And so these are just things that are ingrained, and they may sound small to somebody who does not have to deal with that, but that is conditioning. That is psychological conditioning that's meant to break a person down. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. For our last topic, Kevin brought this up. Over 300,000 Black women last 6 or 7.
I'll tell you that.
Kat, are you on the phone? You better mute your phone.
No, I'm not on the phone. I'm not on the phone.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes, so over 300,000 Black women have been laid off in the last 6 or 7 months. And that's fine. They're trying to. But I also saw videos where Black women are saying some Black men are celebrating this and laughing and having fun and poking fun. I didn't know that. I was just looking up the video from the topic that Kevin sent me, and I saw the video saying that, yes, 300,000 plus Black women have been laid off and are looking for jobs. And then I saw videos where Black men are saying to those brothers who are laughing and celebrating and making fun of, that your karma is coming for you. But I hope no one's celebrating. But
let me say this real quickly before you show this call. A lot of those jobs that those Black women have lost, thanks to Trump, has been replaced with white men.
Wow.
Yes, that is a fact.
Well, that's to be honest, the corporation. I've never been a corporate girl, okay? Because that is a control environment, and they can put in and put out. They said most of the people that lost their jobs are from those federal jobs. And it's because of the DEI initiatives.
Right.
Once they removed that, they got rid of all of them. And it wasn't even only Black women. It was white women too, because white women benefited from DEI. You understand? And now that the white men, they like, nah, we sick of y'all talking. We are the men. This is a man's world. That's what's going on.
Yeah, but 300,000 black women. I mean, that's 30,000 black women. That's a lot.
No, that's a whole heap of a lot. So what can they do now?
Who had secure jobs to help take care of their families.
That good
So
job.
what they gonna do? That means you gotta regroup. You gotta do everything over. That means you're gonna have to start building. And remember, black women are good with businesses also. Remember, we're the one that's in the field doing our thing, working, in the out there doing it. So I think that the women, maybe this is just a new chapter for their lives. And I hope they come up with something to be able to help them get their jobs. I'm not
Yeah,
surprised.
vote Trump out of office and get somebody
Right.
back in that cares
Okay, so
about.
what he haven't even been here a year yet. He already starting all this trouble. So
Yeah.
how we gonna do it?
I don't know, Tiff. I don't have that answer, but he's destroying black people like crazy right now.
Yeah, but it's
Jobs
a wake up call for
and
us
jobs are
too.
down, not just with black women. Unemployment is down. Period. We're back to pandemic stage right now. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, he was president during that too.
Right.
So his first 9-10 months has been a complete failure all the way around.
Yeah. But his base keeps sitting around like the Stepford wives, smiling like ain't nothing wrong.
Because they voted for him because of why? Because of racism.
Right.
I always used to say
Racism and men.
I always say money was the most powerful thing in the world. Another most powerful thing in the world was the P thing. You know what I'm saying? But now this Trump has proved to me that racism is the most powerful thing in the world.
Yes,
In
racism
this
and
country, I should
patriotic
say. In this
and men
country, I should say.
and the men. They want to have control again. They do not. White men feel like they wasn't in control. They was
Yeah.
getting sick of the white women. They was getting sick of the black women. They was just getting sick of it. Like, we got to get them out of here. We need to be more in control. Okay? Because you see, it's not one black person that work in that White House.
No.
No.
They probably the cooks and the cleaners.
Right.
And maybe they not even that
It might
either
not
now.
even be in that part.
Yeah.
No, because he don't want black people cooking for him. You kidding me? Trump don't want no black chef.
No, he got some whites cooking for him. No.
Better believe it. Better believe it. He ain't eat no black person cook for him. Well, he don't trust black people.
And we don't trust him either. Shit.
Yeah, no love lost.
Here's a video of the 300K plus black women that are out of job.
I want to get into the staggering numbers of over 300,000 black women who are left unemployed. 6.1% as of today. In comparison to their white counterparts or any other demographic or nationality, black women are losing their jobs at a skyrocketing rate. This is astounding. We need to be talking about this. We need to be looking into this data thoroughly, and we need to put our thinking caps together to talk about solutions to soften the blow. Because black women as a whole, it's looking pretty strategic on how they're targeting our community.
What if I told you over 300,000 black women have been pushed out of the workforce in just 3 months? The numbers don't lie. Black women are facing the highest job losses of any demographic group, while the media talks about a strong job market. Project 2025 and its DEI rollbacks aren't just policy changes. They're erasing black women from corporate America in real time. Companies like Target and Amazon are dismantling diversity programs and eliminating DEI-focused hiring practices. When DEI programs disappear, so do mentorship opportunities and leadership development tracks that helped level the playing field. While they call it ending radical programs, we call it what it is: pushing black women out of the American dream one job at a time. Follow for more black women doing amazing things.
I had a black dude who was celebrating that those black women lost their jobs. Talking about, oh, now all y'all 300,000. I said, okay. I said, do you understand the money that took out of black neighborhoods? Do you know how many of them black women probably head of their households? Or how many of them black women who was married and 50% of their money paid for everything that was in that household? I said, so why are you celebrating? You better understand the way they're trying to purposely decimate us. This whole thing with Trump and a lot of them, it's about messing our black money. I don't care how you want to play it. I said, when he got an NIL, that's what my homeboy called me. He said, you right. Because why are you in NIL? Majority of athletes is getting paid on what color?
Black.
There you go. So why you bothering with the NIL? The whole setup, you find all them government employees because that's the highest rate of government. Black people is employed by the government. You around here coming after all the DIs. Now you got what the colleges saying they can't even recruit doggone and for DI initiatives or certain HBCU colleges. The whole thing is to mess about money because, like he said, the Mexicans were taking black people jobs, right? You think that was just something his slick self was saying? He trying to have us out here picking tomatoes and cotton. But I am my ancestors. I'll burn that whole farm down first.
Facts.
So let's talk about black men celebrating over 300,000 black women losing their jobs. This isn't just sad, it's sick. That's the type of energy you get from men who know they can't compete with women who have drive, vision, and ambition. You're not kings. You're vultures circling the community, hoping our setback will finally make you feel big. You're not clapping because you won. You're clapping because you finally think we lost. But here's the real reason. Black women's wins expose how stagnant, scared, and insecure you really are. You'd rather see us knocked down than step up yourself. You want to talk about community and leadership, but you dance at the downfall of the same women who carry the weight for everybody, including you. You call it balance being restored. I call it proof you're allergic to progress. You're not leaders, you're spectators, jealous, bitter, and loud about it. Keep celebrating. The world sees who you are. Men so threatened by black women's power that you'd rather see us out of work than out in front. Your legacy isn't strength. It's cowardice, performed in public, commented in bold, and destined to die unnoticed, just like the respect you'll never have.
Those men they're talking about gotta be MAGA men. Because
could be.
Well,
could be. I think. I'm sorry. I hope I ain't interrupted, Carl.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I've seen that whole black men versus black women dynamic in younger generations. I've seen that not so much in, I'm 52. I haven't seen that amongst us, like our age group, but these younger guys, yeah, there's definitely this kind of strife between these black men and black women in these younger generations. And so I could definitely see them doing that. But look, black woman is hurt, you're hurt.
Yeah.
That's what you
yeah,
just
whether
they,
you know it or
they
not.
give you a prize.
Yeah. Black woman gets hurt, you're hurt.
Yeah.
But and I noticed that seems to be a thing in our black community. Like comedians going after black comedians, the black actors, black rappers going after black rappers. You know what I mean? Do you see that in any group? You don't see, like, how often do you see like white actors talking shit about other white actors, or white, comedians talking shit about other white comedians?
Yeah, it's very seldom.
It's always us going after each other. It's I don't have an end. I mean, I don't know if that's the really full effect. Get the black people. That's how you keep them in check. But we seem to be the only group that are always going after each other.
No, because we wasn't taught. Remember, okay, you won't remember. You won't know. But remember what happened to us as people here. We were separated from our own family members, our loved ones. We was abused mentally, physically, and verbally. It's a lot. And that's generational. You understand? And then come into the late 60s and the 70s, we have in welfare where it's removing the men from the home. So it's just a whole lot piled up. That's why I said we need mental health sometimes. We need to talk. We need to communicate because a lot of this stuff affects us today and how we deal with others and situations. I'm not surprised that none of these things. Not at all.
Right.
All right. We're gonna wrap it up, and I want to thank all of you for watching. Thank Instagram. Thanks to those of you on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share. Please like. I don't understand. People watch, but they don't hit the like. Tiffany, what do you think? Why is that? Ask your sister.
Because you're not paying them to like it. Now, You're not. I mean, I bet you said we give you 10 cents, $1 for you to like it. I bet you everybody ding, 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 waiting for their cash app and stuff. But yes, that's all we want. We want you to like,
Yeah,
subscribe,
like,
and that puts us in the algorithm.
yes, like, please, like. We have people watch.
Leave a comment. Tell us what you think, because I know I be pissing people off. Carl be pissing people off. Kev, he do it too. You know, the new people, they get y'all too. So yeah, say what you gotta say.
I actually know people that watch, but they want to watch incognito. They want, they want to stay. I know one person that watches, but because of their job, they're watching today. They have a job that if they were ever associated with a show like this,
they'll get in trouble. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
Listen, and if you in a situation like that, we understand. You
Right.
understand?
We
Because
get it.
we're independent. We're independent contractors. We can say what we say because I don't work for anybody but myself. You understand what I'm saying? So we can be able to say what we want to say. But if you know you cannot, and that's a lot of people that mess a lot of people up. They go online or they do something stupid, and then did you see the young lady that got fired? I think she was a Muslim lady from Ohio. And it was from a floral company or something like that. They were screaming out, "Watch out, she steals. Watch out. She's going to steal something." And the girl said, "I never stole anything in my life." You know when they said they fired her? Because they said she was lazy. Are you serious? But what happened? It went on social media. And what happened? Everybody was on the Google, the Yelp, and everything, giving them 1 star, 0 stars, or whatever. So you got to be careful on what you say and how you say and how you treat others, because we live in a social media world. Everything will come out and you'll get your whole business, your whole life shut down for at least about a month to 6 months.
Yeah. It's
Listen,
a
one
shame.
more thing, Carl.
Go ahead.
Scooby D2 has been on fire today, huh? We from Ireland?
Yeah. What's he saying? What's
He
Scooby?
said something to me about, because I mentioned Louis Vuitton, Moet, and all of them. He said, "You talking about a lot of French designers. First of all, they own a lot of companies. Look them up. It's called Louis Vuitton, Moet, and something else, and something else. They own a lot of businesses. That don't mean I like them. I'm just telling you, they own a lot of black businesses.
They have their hands in a lot of stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do. That's just plain facts. That don't mean I want to be over there in French eating tarts. I'm just keeping it real. Okay? But he's been going in.
That's funny.
I've been seeing Scooby's comments. So once again, thank you for joining us. We will be here next Sunday, 7 p.m. We're here every Sunday, 7 p.m., keeping it real. I want to thank our special guest, Mr. Brian Simpson. Thank you so much for stopping by. And Brian, we always ask if there's anything you learn or that before we end the show, or you can tell us where to get your book. We'll let you go first.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I learned, from I believe it was Umar, when he said, we didn't necessarily have we didn't have to integrate. We weren't forced to go to these white-owned establishments. We just went. And so that really got my wheels to turning. So I'm kind of glad that you played that clip. As for my books, you can find Town Secrets and Alex Archer Adventure and The Nightmare's Edge and Alex Archer Adventure, both on my website, theauthorbriansimpson.com, or at major retailers like Barnes & Noble, Amazon, etc.
All right, so please get Brian's book and don't believe what Chris Rock said that niggas don't read.
We read.
Chris Rock got money, put it in us niggas.
That's why we need to promote families, mothers, and fathers. Promote your children to read. It's very good.
Absolutely.
Tiffany, anything you learned on today's show you want to share before we go?
Well, I always learn something, but I want to say, thank you to everyone that chimed in with us tonight. We had this conversation because we want to have this conversation because a lot of people are not talking about these issues that are going on today and how it affects us. And by us communicating, it helps us to learn one another. So again, thank you to everyone that came. Thank you to our co-hosts, Kev and Carl. I love you. Mr. Brian, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry I missed the show last week, but again, I am a daughter that is caring for her mom, and I'm
Yeah.
taking care of her, and I'm loving her. And I want to say thank you to everybody for their well wishes, and thank you to the people that has been taking care of her and being very sweet to her. Thank you so much. Again, y'all know what to do. Like and subscribe, and let us know what you think. And blessings to my friends and family.
Right, Kev, Mr. Light, anything you learned on tonight's show?
Yeah, man. So Brian, you was on the show last week, huh?
Yes, or the week before.
Okay, I wasn't on that show, right, Carl? I was out performing that week. Was I on the road? I was on the road, I guess. Yeah. So I miss you, man. Yeah, I don't think I was on that show, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was on a trip.
Yeah, I was on the trip. So pleasure meeting you, man, and having you on the show. It was awesome listening to your knowledge and everything. And yeah, Tiff, last week I was out performing for the white man. So
Get them white dollars.
What part of North Carolina were you in?
I was at Harris Casino, man, in Cherokee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you familiar? Yeah, that's yeah. I was performing at Harris Casino.
Got you. Yeah, I lived in the Raleigh-Durham area.
Okay, yeah, I work in that area too, man. I play Charlie Goodnights down there, and a few other comedy clubs around that neck of the woods. I'm all over North Carolina, man.
You ever come out
Charlotte,
to the Bay
Charlotte.
He's a comedy whore.
Yeah, Charlotte. I'm all over the place. I'll be in Florida in a few weeks, actually, man. Down in Vero Beach.
Okay. Yeah, I know where that is.
So,
you ever make it out to California?
I haven't been out there in a while, man. But I have. I lived in LA for a while, so I lived in LA for 4 years, man. So I was, always out there. I played Vegas. I was in Vegas with Wanda Sykes, former Wanda Sykes. So in Las Vegas. So I get out to the West Coast every once in a while, man. Not as much as I, work on the East Coast, man. But yeah. When I was a kid, man, my dad, that was a long time ago when I was a kid. My dad lived in Richmond. So we spent a lot of time in Richmond, in Berkeley area.
Yeah. Up there, deep in the Bay.
Yeah, man. So, and my stepmom used to go to church. We used to go to church she used to go to church like 3 times a week, man, over in San Francisco, man.
Yeah.
So we used to go across the Old Bay Bridge over there to San Francisco, man. Yeah. To the church back there, man. So yeah, I'm familiar with the Bay Area, man.
I look you up on, my bad.
No, I was just saying, yeah, definitely, man. Look me up, man. So look, Carl, I learned that I have privilege for being a light-skinned brother. I mean, me and Elder Barge got it going on, baby.
Yes, you do. Thank you. I'm glad you compared yourself to Elder Barge. Thank you. About time.
Any other light-skinned brother? I couldn't think of no others at the moment, man. So, yeah. No, it was a good show, Carl. I'm glad to be back.
Glad to have you back, man. All right, I want to thank everyone, again, for joining us. Please like, share, subscribe to the show, and it helps the algorithm. And Tiffany, I love you. Say hi to your mom. Tell her that we are wishing her the best. Kevin, brother. Brian, love you too, brother. Stay strong.
Much love.
And catch you next time, man. Thank you for being on the show.
Hey, I appreciate you guys for having me. I told Carl, if you guys need me, give me a holler.
Yes.
Appreciate that, man. Really appreciate that. I'm going to end the show with a video that was sent to me by Kevin's other half, Patricia, which was very interesting. It's the top 5 influential cultures in America. Do you know what the top 5 influential cultures are? Can you guess, Tiffany? Do you know what culture has the most influence in America?
Is one of the answers Black Americans?
One, yeah, there's 5 but they're in order. So there's one that's number 5, and then one that's number 1.
I think number 1 is Black Americans.
Okay. So
And the bottom one could be maybe Africa or something.
well, here, if I remember correctly, it's India, Japan, China, Black America. I think there's one more, but there was India, Japan, or Chinese, Japan, Black America. I think that's the 5. But, so you number 1. Think Black America most
Yeah, I think Black Americans is number 1.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. You want to weigh in, Kevin?
It's not fair for me to weigh in.
Because you are.
Yeah.
For real.
They say these are the most influential cultures in America.
Black. I saw this list. I thought it was so interesting.
What you think?
I thought it was so interesting. The top 5, right? I can probably remember some of them too.
Tell me who you see. Who
is it like Indian culture is
Indian
number 5?
culture is number 4.
Number 4, yeah.
Number 4,
Number
Indian
4.
culture. These are the most influential cultures in America.
Yes.
Indian came in at number 4. Who else you remember?
Indian culture came in at number 4. Is it Mexican culture?
Come in at number 3. Latino culture.
Yeah, Latino culture came in at number 3. Yeah. Latino culture. Okay. Oh, I know this other one.
Okay.
Japanese.
Japanese. I couldn't believe that.
Japanese culture.
Guess what?
Japanese. Yeah,
Japanese is the number 2 culture in America.
That's
K-pop is so big
And
right
I didn't think that. I thought Latino culture.
Yeah, but think about it though. Japanese culture, they have meditation, they have teas, yoga, all
they're
that
in hip hop. They're in K-pop now. They got their own pop lane and everything.
Here's what they're saying. They're saying Japanese culture, sushi, ramen, anime, video games, Nintendo, PlayStation, minimalist design, martial arts, and meditation is of the culture, the Japanese culture that they say that is influential in America.
Minimalist, like they don't have too much stuff.
Can we pop our collar real quick though?
Let's pop it because I'm getting ready to tell you the number 1, the most influential culture in America is the African American culture.
Yes, Lord.
It is number 1. Guess what they said? Hip hop and R&B music, slang, language, the language influence, streetwear, hairstyles, soul food, dominance in sports, entertainment, pop culture at large.
Come on, man.
They say the number 1 most influential culture in America is the African American culture.
A lot of the times people hate you because they ain't you.
Right.
Real talk.
Isn't that something?
We, the non-all Black Americans here, want to thank y'all for all your contributions.
What?
Right.
Ain't you Dominican?
Only half of me said that, dog.
I'm about to say.
I'm Afro-Latino. My mom darker than Dee Dee. Shut up.
Hey guys, on that note, we're gonna end it.
Let me know when you through digging so I can kick him in that motherfucker.
You wasn't even
dig yourself a hole, man.
All the time. And we just let him.
Yes.
All right, y'all. It's Dee Dee in the morning.
I knew it.
Yeah, that's no surprise.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
What is that called?
I'm saying I don't think Black America realize how much influence they have over the. I don't know. Do you guys realize how influential whatever you do, right, ends up the world?
I've been through that. That's not hard to let me tell you something. It's not hard because anywhere you go, Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, so you know Brooklyn is all over the place. Thanks, Biggie and Jay-Z. You know, but I'm just saying we are popping. I mean, you can take it back. Remember when the Jamaicans would do all our songs over? You understand? Right. They was out there looking like us. Afro beats started with them trying to rap. And knowing damn well rap was not your life. Y'all got Afro beats, okay? Run with it, okay? But it's us. We start stuff, our culture, our background, our swagger, how we wear Timberlands, how we wear T-shirt, how we wear bomber, how we wear white beater. It's all about the swagger. Go New York, boop, boop, America, blah, blah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, when we touch something, it turns to gold. I mean, you look at when you look at on TikTok, there's been this phenomenon now with black Americans and Black Scottish people connecting.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The Black Scottish people are like, look, y'all have blown us up, because nobody knew about us. and it's blown up. So matter of fact, there's a creator over there in Scotland. He and I are getting ready to collaborate on some things. So
is he the one who he got dreads?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I know who he came out. Let me tell you something. Women blew him up too because women got all moist in the pants. They saw him. They was like, I think we're taking a trip to Ireland. I'm like, these hoes is ready. But
he
yes,
got up
there are
there.
black
Yeah,
people there.
he got up there with that Scottish accent because we don't.
Yes, he
We know about black English people, but we hadn't seen black Scottish people.
People.
And so he got up there with that accent. Yeah, like you said, the women was like, "Oh,
they was ready. They ready to do a trip, and you should see them when they said we ready to do a trip. Are y'all ready for us?" And the Irish people did come out and they said, "Thank you, Americans, for blowing us up because I didn't know that we was trending."
Right,
man. Carl and I get the same shit every week on this show. Get out of here.
You know what?
Women watch
That's
this
that
show
light
just to see
skin
Carl.
privilege.
Women watch this show just to see Carl and I.
Yeah.
You know what? You think they ain't trying to see me either? I'm sexy. What you trying to say? You know what?
I said women. Well, women like women too.
All right.
So, Glendine, someone is asking, Glendine is asking, what was number 5 on that list? Do you remember what was number 5? I think, did she say number 5?
I think it's the Indian culture.
Indian was 5? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
Glendine.
but we on the top.
Yeah, I mean, the world knows that Black Americans are the most influential people in the world. The world knows that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you look at this whole K-pop thing. They basically came over here. The Korean music producers came over here, studied Black music groups from the 90s. They studied Jodeci. They studied Boyz II Men. They studied them and basically took what they learned and created K-pop. So you got these Korean performers over there dressed like Black American singers from the 90s. And it's like
making a killing. They're making a
killing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's Elvis all over again, right? Just Elvis.
All over again.
Yeah, they enjoy it, and they're making so much money off of us. Okay,
right. So that just goes to show back to what we were saying today. We have it to do right within our community.
We just scared.
Yeah, we just got to do it.
We scared. We don't want Massa to leave us.
Right.
We need Massa.
Yeah, Massa can go somewhere. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Again, thanks very much for watching our show. We truly appreciate it.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next Sunday with another hot show. Kevin?
I'll be here. Love you, bro.
Tiffany, love you. Kevin, love you. And again, Brian, love you, brother. Thank you so much for checking in. Thanks to Scooby-Doo for checking in. I'm not gonna get everyone, but Gina, thank you. Gina came.
Nikki, my sister, yes. Pamela, highly favored, yes. Miss Catherine, hi, Mama.
Mama Lee's watching. And her light-skinned man, she loves Kev. No, Patricia loves light-skinned too, right, Kev? That's part.
Yeah, she do. Now think about it.
That's your perks. That's how you got your wife. Okay.
All right. So I love you guys, and thanks again for watching. And we will see you guys next Sunday.
All right. Peace and love. Bye.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow the Black Therapy Show. We in a safe space, dealing with the Black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. With Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We giving you empathy. We gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. Built your penitentiaries, we built all the schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God above. It's called Kevin and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
Let's go.
We still live, so don't say anything.
All right.